proper 16 overs that I get. Nattu can bowl up top. Nattu can give me overs at the end. Stark gives me new ball, gives me 1 over in the end. I've got Akshar and Kuldeep to control for me in the middle. 16 overs sorted for me, so I'm pretty happy with that.
It's obviously, I think every team goes through it, whether you try and find the players early and pounce on opportunities, or you try and wait for the back end. And we decided today to try and sense an opportunity when they came along, and Mohammad Shami was one, and then Harshal Patel. They were two guys that we potentially didn't think would go for those prices, and we thought it was obviously they've got proven track records. I think they're the last two purple cap winners, so that's something for them. And then Ishan Kishan was a huge deal for us. We really wanted to secure him, and we thought he'd go for more. So extremely happy that we got those three players as well as the rest. Yes, it was a sad captain tonight. It's been they had a hard day. So I spoke to him earlier today, and he understood the logic of the players that we'd gone for, and then he had some ideas for obviously the rest of the squad building. There should be a shot clock on it. That's what there should be. No, I think it's great. I think it puts you to a tough question, and I think the rationale was around getting the players a fair price. And sometimes when the RTM comes, it might not quite be there for some of these good players. So I think it added an element today.
Yep, I think I'm pretty much with Dan on the same thing. I mean, the whole idea is to try and make sure that the player gets a fair price, and I think with the RTM and the bid after the RTM just gives you a chance to up the bid, and which basically means that the player is valued higher. And I think in the end, if the player is valued higher than the first RTM, the first time when a side exercises the RTM, and there is still a value to it, and eventually the fair price is how it should be, and I quite like this.
I think we see Shami in the power play. I think that's such an important part of IPL cricket, and the last time we played 2 seasons ago, he was one of the best, and then Harshal proved himself again last year through those middle stages in death. So we feel like those two players complement Pat, and we have 3 bowlers who can bowl at any stage of the game, which is incredibly important. We identified players that we thought had performed in the IPL previously, so we put a premium on that experience, and we've seen that pay off time and time again. So to get those players who maybe didn't have the season they wanted in terms of Rahul Chahar last year, we still see the skill set, still see a bowler who's played for India, and hopefully in our conditions he can be a real asset for us.
Where's the question of he having a bad year? He had some personal reasons for him not being here. But I think if you go back and see his track record after that, wherever he's gone to play, he's just got massive runs everywhere, and he's striking the ball. He bats at 5 and 6. He can even open for us if required. So I think for us that was a no-brainer. He will complement Stubbs at 5 and 6 if needed. He can also be at the top. I can even get KL to open. Jake can open. Abhishek Porel can open. All these guys can even bat in the middle order. So just multiple options that opens up with guys like Harry Brook and KL Rahul.